Welcome, everybody, and good night. We are going live here. I'm joined by Loki Bear. This is me, the
Hello.
Honk Legion. We're live with a match series between TPO Goat and Conduit Hecklers.
This is our first stream for the TPO Goats team. So this is gonna be exciting. We have played against them, we have never watched them play. But we did see the Malzahar band come in, which is against the mid laner, Volsky.
Okay. And there was a emergency sub that was used by the Goat team, so they did lose bans, so that's why the first two are blank. So we do have the Malzahar and a Mumu from Conduit Hecklers currently.
They did lose 2 bans for the E sub, so there's no bans on the side of TPO Goats. And for some reason, our Twitch is deciding to show TDS Knights versus Mythic Omega. Not sure why, but hey. Heckram band is coming in on the side of TPO Goats for Conduit Hecklers.
Now, Emily, I think you need to just refresh your page because it's showing the TPO and Conduit Hecklers now.
That's
Oh,
odd.
the name thing.
Yeah.
It's different. Right, so it is Hecarim for TPO and more to round out the bands, and a first pick Maokai for TPO Goat.
This is countered by a first pick of Sejuani and Caitlyn for Conduit Hecklers. So this should be an interesting game. I'm excited to watch these guys. I actually just got the I got to play with Sadness last night.
Yes, Sadness is the jungler for TPO Goat. Do you want to actually state who the players are for TPO Goat quickly?
So yeah, and the top lane is IQ of a coconut. Like you mentioned, Sadness is in the jungle. Volsty is in the mid lane. Darth is in AD carry, and Derpy Greg is support.
And for Conduit Hecklers, we have Feathers and Fur in the top lane, Glada in the jungle, Billy Willard in the mid lane, Brother Hedge in bot lane, and Yipsy, if I'm pronouncing that right, as their support. And well, during that time, a Soraka did get locked in. Seems like there was some type of issue. The missed pick was actually an Ezreal locked in for TPO Goat as well, which is answered by the Varus. So is that a Caitlyn support or is it Varus mid lane? What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Varus mid lane. I don't think I mean, if they're gonna go for the cheese strat of having a double 80 carry, that's gonna be interesting.
Because that's a whole lot of poke.
It is. It is a lot of poke, and then with Sejuani is our root, that could work in their favor. But
Okay, that
I'm gonna
is
go with Varus mid lane.
a Jax ban from Conduit Hecklers. There might be some issues going on currently with the draft LOL client, so we might have to restart it quickly. They're trying to figure it out right now.
Listen, it's a small indie company. It's fine. That was a Kassadin lock-in.
Yeah, Kassadin lock. But that was a Kassadin ban.
Oh, the Kassadin ban. Okay.
Oh. So you're
Oh no.
to the fans, you might not see anything else on the TPO Goat side for picks and bans because there was an issue with the internet going out that's causing connections. They're going forward though with the picks and bans and just kind of letting us know the Vagar ban from Conduit Hecklers. And we'll see if they can reconnect or if it's just going to be something that's not entirely shown.
Just bear with us through this.
Yeah.
That was an Alawi ban.
So an Alawi ban from TPO Goat to round out their bans. Fortunately, they are having issue. It's not letting them click anything on the TPO Goat side in Draft Link anymore.
Yeah, because if Coconut's not there, there's a Rise lock-in
No, it's not
or a
locked in
Rise
yet.
hover.
Yep,
Wait
locked
a
in now.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
So that, unless it's a weird Rise top, which has been played before, that's likely a Caitlyn Varus bot lane, which is a whole lot of poke for that
No.
Soraka to deal with.
Yeah, that's a Soraka Ezreal bot lane with. I mean, unless Rise becomes a support. They did lock in Cassante for top lane. I love
Cassante.
watching people play Cassante. I have never played the man. He does. I'm a little confused by him, but I'm excited to watch. Um,
They still need to give him a Baker skin and make him Cassante.
no, no, stop.
Oh,
Stop.
they let them finally hover something.
Oh, okay.
But they already picked that, so what do they pick?
Yeah, you
Okay,
picked Israel. Okay.
so that's a
A
Cass.
Cassiopeia mid lane. It's broken. Jesse,
So
it's broken.
what we have currently for TPO goats, I'm going to write in chat, is the Maokai, Soraka, Ezreal, Cassante, and Cass.
I think that Cassiopeia would be good into a rise. I'm
So
guessing it's
that's an
gonna be.
Olaf to round out Conduit Heckler. So that's going to likely be Olaf top, Sejuani jungle, Rise mid, and then the Caitlyn Varus bot lane.
I don't know.
Um,
Does
it's
Rise ever work as support?
No, Rise would never work as a support, though the ADC bot lane has been gaining popularity both in, well, essentially all regions. It started out in Korea and just kind of bounced around. It showed up in the LCS this past week to kind of bring it to
With
NA
Rise
finally.
support, Notorious, please. I want to see someone play as. I think it would go great. Listen, I've had an Aatrox support. I've had a Sejuani support,
You
Lupon
also had a
support.
Cho'Gath ADC.
I don't want to talk about it. You troll me so much in game.
Listen, it worked. I had
Yes,
top damage.
Sedgerelli bot lane does work. It's disgusting, but it does work. So I think that are we still waiting for Coconut? Yeah, he's restarting his
Yeah,
internet.
we do have a bit of delay. The top laner for TPO Goat is having internet issues where he had to restart his internet. Um, that's what
Wait a
caused kind
minute.
of the
Multi
delays.
plays Timo? I think I just found
Oh,
my new favorite person. Listen, I love Timo. Everybody else hates Timo.
I don't mind Timo. I just think that he's a troll champ. He's a very
That's why
toxic
I picked him, Jimmy.
person, and as long as you play him the appropriate ways, as I call it, you can make somebody uninstall League of Legends.
Let's not
Just
just
gotta.
stand in a bush and just throw shrooms over. I don't think that's the way you're supposed to play Timo, so.
No, you're supposed to hop in and out of the bush
Ah, yes.
to
Ah, yes.
apply the poison stack and then go back to being gone.
All right, it looks like they are ready. Possibly?
Yep, both teams just no. Right as we
Coconut.
said that.
Yeah, Coconut leaves the lobby. Tier 1.
Got invited again.
It's alright. We're gonna get through this.
When he finally got his internet back up,
Coco's
it
being
just booted
dated.
him out of the lobby. So it's taking a moment for this top lane. Hopefully it's not like this in game, but just
I
prior
didn't
to game
like.
one.
I never know what Coconut plays. Literally, like anytime like I've well, I played the one 5v5, and he played like literally everywhere.
It's always a sign of somebody that's good, though, when they can just kind of slide into roles. He spins the wheel. I prefer
Listen,
to say that I give my faith into the fill button, not entirely because I'm too lazy to pick two roles.
and he's not really good at all roles either. So
What are you talking about? I am
listen,
quite
he
an
got lucky with
exceptional
those hooks.
feeder.
I don't even want to talk about that Blitzcrank last night.
I didn't pick it.
Doesn't matter.
I told the ADC to pick the champ, and they did it.
That was the wrong one. You should have played Yumi.
Yeah,
Jack of
that's
all
exactly
trades
what my
master.
mastery
Listen,
points
I
show.
tried the Jack of all trades, and like I literally had a list of champs to that I had to play, and like one of them was I don't remember what it was. I just knew I was now winning a game. I want to say it was Tryndamere. I was like, oh, that ain't gonna happen. Like if you had to just play them, I would have been fine. But like, you actually have to win a game on them.
That's also because we had a full team of 5 that were trying to do that challenge.
Listen, I need to find invite him. Coconut is causing issues. I would like to point out that all the issues tonight are all caused by Coconut. So, oh boy. It looks like they're gonna have to restart the lobby.
I don't know if it's restarting the lobby or if he has to restart his game.
I thought once you left a
No,
lobby,
tournament
you couldn't
codes you
get
can
back in it.
join as many times as you need to with the tournament code.
Oh, okay. Small indie company. That's fine. All right. So now that we have the draft, um, what are your thoughts here, Tim?
So regards to the draft, there's going to be a lot of pressure in that bot lane. It's essentially up to the Soraka and Ezreal to not give too much. Um, um, while not getting killed, because that Varus and Caitlyn are just going to continue with poke. I'm guessing it's the Caitlyn support, because I haven't seen a Varus support before, where they just kind of go lethality and just kind of go for the headshots on everybody. So it's just them about surviving the lane, while the Maokai tries to get the Cassante and Cass ahead. They they kind of seem
Listen,
like it's more of a team fight kind of thing. Well, the Conduit Hecklers kind of have that split push effect with the Rise, but they also have team fight capabilities with everything.
we're leaving. Oh my gosh, Coconut just got back in here and
Oh,
they
it
all
just
left.
booted everybody.
Um,
Oh, it probably
it's
timed everybody out.
it's fine. No, they would have been kicked too. Um, I think that TPO Goats built more of a team comp, like a team strategy comp where Conduit Hecklers, like their comp is very good, but it's going to be very like bot lane's going to be kind of
Their bot lane's
uh
heavy siege. They want to get to a turret, they
yes.
want to poke, and they want to just hit the turret while the Sejuani kind of stands in front. They can even do a 1-3-1 kind of strat where they
Yeah.
have the Olaf and the Rise in the side lanes if they don't want to full commit, while um, the goats definitely want to fight and go at it as much as possible. They're going to want to team fight. They're going to want to go for those objectives as a whole group rather than do the split push.
So we're going into the lock-in, and um, I'm I'm gonna wait and see where they lock all these champs in. Unfortunately, we don't have that set up on stream, so y'all just have to take our word for it until we get to the lobby.
Well, I think the only there's a little bit of flex on the Heckler side because Sejuani and Olaf can be kind of done in top and jungle. There could always be the flip of ADC and support depending on who's comfortable on what. Like even possibly just building cooldown on Varus and just going for that ult as many times as possible may potentially
No,
work.
no cooldown. No cooldown. What is it? The cooldown for Varus build would just be the quick, the void quick blades?
He doesn't ever really build crit if he goes that way. He either goes normally lethality, AP, or
AP Varus is a
on
bane of
hit.
my existence.
Those are the three big options. Lethality is just kind of for the poke, while there's the AP, which is kind of like the poke as well, and then there's the on hit, which has Rage Blade that doesn't really cancels out the ability to build IE or Navori Quick Blades.
Yeah, I think you're gonna want to. I mean, on most 80 carries, you're gonna want to go right into that Infinity Edge.
So there's the Cassante top lane.
Asante!
He's a fun.
I love
Oh,
that.
Olaf top to counter.
So it is Sejuani jungle.
So it's going to be Sejuani jungle.
I want to see a Rise jungle. Let's do it.
Yeah. The TPO goats definitely don't have much flex to them. You could tell who was going where and who was doing what. Um,
Rise is locked in. It is a Varus Caitlyn bot lane. This is gonna be the first time I've ever seen this. And I don't know if Varus has ever been played as support, so maybe they have. Um Anything that's been played in Korea has trickled over to NA, so we're seeing a whole bunch of crazy picks here.
well, that kind of happens everywhere. Somebody finds out something that's really strong and good in the meta, and then everybody else starts abusing it.
I'm wondering if anyone plays Callista.
I don't think
Yeah,
anybody will be confident
I've
enough.
I've had a few Caitlyn supports, um, and Jin supports.
I don't like the Jin support. I think he's supportive enough in the ADC role that they don't need to flex him to. And that is the Caitlyn support. So it's not the Varus support. It's going to be Varus ADC and Caitlyn support into that as real Soraka.
I know. I mean, I'm probably biased, but TPO Goats is my has my vote on this one here.
I think it ultimately comes down to like how well can like if is Hecklers doing the split push game where they're going to try to kind of make the Cassante match somebody in the side lanes or the Cass match somebody in the side lanes, or are they just going to full on commit to sort of like a siege engine and hope that the Maokai and Cassante don't find a flank and get on top of that Caitlyn and Varus in the backline? That sounds about right with the
I'm
boogeyman checking under his bed every night for Korea. That man does some wild stuff. Callista should never be a support. I understand the whole idea of it, making her as a support, making sure that your uh, ADC essentially clicks the lantern at the right time. Because not every ADC likes that lantern. Some of them will just walk by as they're getting tanking everything from the enemy team.
Leave me alone, Jim.
Wasn't saying you. I was just saying there's some.
You were calling me out because I never clicked that thresh lantern. I'm so bad at it.
Right. But we are going to go on a because we do have the spectator delay. We are going to take a little break, and we'll be back shortly in game.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the first game of TPO Goats versus the Conduit Hecklers. Uh, so we are starting off just basic, basic stuff. I'm hoping for some level 1 shenanigans, and it
Oh,
looks like they're going for it.
Olaf is strong at level 1 with that Q, but it looks like they're just trying to create pressure for that ward.
Yeah. I mean, they do have vision in the top side jungle.
Yeah, the Olaf was able to create pressure to cut that ward on that blue buff to see if the Maokai starts topside or if they're just doing the traditional starts with their bot lane.
So yeah, they're just going to
Oh.
just their normal start, no shenanigans.
No, it looks like both junglers want to path towards that bot lane. So it
Yeah.
looks like the why Sadness is looking to kind of provide some aid to that heavy poked lane of bot lane, as well as Sejuani is kind of doing a weird start where she's starting those Raptors instead of the buff. She did a solo camp
Um
start, which is quite
yeah,
interesting.
does it give her any benefit to doing that?
It just kind of like gives doesn't give away where she is because both the top laner can get there on ahead of time and get wave push as well as that bot lane was able to play that kind of game in that bush and get some poke damage down to that Soraka Ezreal.
I mean, that's Soraka's low health now.
Yeah, the poke's
They're
already
gonna want to be
coming through.
careful.
The Soraka's
Yep.
able to land those Qs and heal up quite a bit.
Yeah, it looks like Caitlyn's just gonna Caitlyn and
Level 2s
theirs
are
did hit
early.
level 2 early, so oof.
They got that rush, so they have the pressure, but
It looks like Sejuani is looking mid lane to come in and gank Voltsy and
oh, the cleanse on Cass gets her out, but she's barely gonna manage to get out. That Rise tanked several tower shots there, which isn't
yeah.
great because that kind of puts him in a position where they're both low, so that Cass doesn't necessarily have to back. Both mid laners did start tier.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's 3 tiers started in in this game. On which is normal in the Ezreal, and I don't know about Cassiopeia, but I know Rise does. So TPO did get the level 3 advantage in bot lane.
Why Sadness
Um,
is able to get to bot lane first, but he's gonna step in front of that ward first. He is level 4 to the level 3 of the Sejuani, so he does have that power pressure for that scuttle.
yeah.
No, fight
But
breaks out bot side. The Srok is able
the
to heal up the support for support right now. Sejuani comes in to help that out, but so does Sadness. But it's the Rise that's able to roam down first, the flash kill secure onto the Ezreal. Sadness in the Maokai is able to walk out, but that's a 3-for-1. Not sorry, 2-for-1 in bot
took out
side for
Caitlyn.
Hecklers. Oh, but the Varus surprisingly dies to minions, making it a 2-for-2. That's a sloppy mishandle for Hecklers. In
Yeah.
that bot lane fight, that could have been just a 2-for-1, but Varus wasn't paying attention and took too much damage.
That puts
That is big though to
the
keep in.
junglers even.
Oh, the Sejuani and Rise are both returning to mid lane together. That Cassiopeia is kind of left
No
out by
help.
them their self. They're able to walk
She does
towards
have
the
flash.
Maokai. They do have the flash, the stun, the poison's ticking down. Cass able to kind of bait them out long enough to get the kill. The Maokai's creating the slow enough to help the Cass get out. The Rise is looking for it, but not able to hit it so far. The Cassante roamed down. Didn't get the assist, but there was the kill. A 2-for-0 in a kind of mid lane play that was started out by the Hecklers.
Yeah, so that 2-0 on Cassiopeia worked in her favor, which is not something that the Rise wants. Rise doesn't want Cassiopeia to scale.
Well, if you look at just the items themselves, Tyr in that lost chapter versus Tyr, Ruby Crystal, and Boots. Big power
Cass doesn't build
disadvantage.
boots, right?
No, she doesn't build boots at all. She's one, the only champ that doesn't build those boots. but it's kind of looks the exact opposite where the Soraka is counteracting the poke of um, the Caitlyn Varus. Oh, gank on
This.
top lane. Kasante blows the all out, trying to get out. He flashes, but there's a flash follow. Both
Oh, and
Olaf and
Olaf does too.
Sejuani are able to get out, but heal and flash and ghost used by the Olaf as along with his ult only for the flash of Kasante. And he does have teleport, so he's going to be able to teleport up there to make sure that wave doesn't crash and he doesn't lose it.
Then here comes the teleport on Kasante. So
Yep, so he's able to get there.
and
The
Malphite's going AP.
Yep.
It looks like demonic. I
He's
think
probably
demonic
going
embrace is
demonic
built.
embrace. It's still
Yeah.
popular on him. It is noticeable that the hecklers are willing to blow those summoner spells to make plays. Well, um, not all of the goats are. They're holding on to them quite a bit. It's like there's no sums on the rise.
Ooh. This Cassiopeia really knows what she's doing. Like she's getting a lot of damage off on this guys.
Yep.
I guess there. We do have a
Maokai's looking for some type of
ocean
gank in
drake.
bot lane. Maybe trying to get a gank off to rotate for that Drake. Sejuani's at her Gromp currently, so she might be able to sniff it out. The bot lane and jungler of the TPO goat team is just rotating to that Drake. Looks like Sejuani's going to sniff it out, but Cass is already on her way to kind of join the group. So
Yeah, I
Sejuani's
think
there early. The ult is blown by the Maokai, trying to at least zone her out away from
the
the
root did go
Drake.
down.
She's able to dash over the wall and get out to make sure that she's not getting hit. But that was just kind of like a conceited Drake from the hecklers that went over to the goat team.
It looks like
Olaf is
Varus
out
is
of
trying to freeze the wave
yeah.
here.
Olaf is out of top lane currently trying to get that Herald. Sejuani stayed after clearing that vision. She hops over. Let's see if she can make any plays. She does have her ult. It's an ult down onto the Soraka. She's
Ooh,
getting poked. She
she
does
kind of
have
needs
ult,
root.
but she's able to get out. No summoners blown at all or ult on the side of goat just for that Sejuani ult. She did get a lot of poke back onto her that kind of made her back off.
I love
The
that this
Maokai's
Soraka's
able to
frontlining.
return. Yeah, she's been hitting a lot of those Qs though that allow her to kind of frontline and stay healthy.
Well, she threw her E down and was able to root the Sejuani, which kind of like messed up Sejuani's intent to gank.
They see them all here. Is Caitlyn able to throw down a Q? And yep, they delay the back. Doesn't get a single kill. There's a big CS difference in top lane though. 78 to
Yeah,
59 in Olaf's favor over the Cassante. There's about that same difference in the mid lane between the not mid lane between the two junglers into Maokai's favor, 53 to 42. Otherwise, it's fairly even.
yeah, across the map. It and for the amount of CS that Maokai's up, he's created a lot of pressure in both bot lane and mid lane. But I think Coconut just needs to farm up because once he gets that item, like the first item, he should be good against the Olaf because Olaf already has the Iron Spike, which I'm guessing is going to go into Threadbreaker.
Yep. Normally, he either does Stridebreaker or Gore Drinker, depending on what he wants to do. If he just wants to stick to people. Rise and
This
cast trading.
Cassiopeia, this Cassiopeia is insane.
She's trying to zone him off of the wave. Sejuani's looking to make a play in mid lane. I don't know if they know that she's there. She dashes over the wall, gets smites, trying to chase and get
Smite.
that proc off onto the cast, but she's able to kite her way out of that gank. The Maokai re-engages with the ult, does root the Sejuani, W's to the Maokai trying to knock him back. The Cass ult goes through as well as the Sejuani ult. Neither of them hit, but the Cass flashes under turret to
Ooh.
get that kill. Gets shut down by the Ryze in return. Olaf shows up to kind of counter. The Maokai re-engages onto the Ryze. They're going for it. They're trying to get something, but Maokai goes down. Currently a 2-for-1 in the favor of Hecklers. Cassante used the all out there, but didn't get much from it besides just dashing a little bit closer with Olaf to that turret.
Yeah. The Rise does come back to lane with a completed Rod of Ages, where Cassiopeia just has the Lost Chapter, and the Codex is the second part of that. Because it looks like she's going for Leandries.
Yeah, she's definitely going for Leandries. Rise was able to actually get the Rod of Ages off of that shutdown, so he's going to start stacking that already, which is good for him because he's looking to scale with the Seraphs and the Rod of Ages going into his back pocket. Cass doesn't have their mythic yet. Looks like the first mythic did go to that Rise.
Cass does have enough for the Mythic. She's sitting on about
Oh yeah,
1,300 gold.
she has not backed yet while the Rise did. She's the only one that's like really set to back right now.
We do have a Cloud Drake spawning in about 20 seconds,
The
and
Maokai's looking for another engage with that all. I don't know if it's just barely within range to get that.
ooh, yeah,
The
but both
support goes down right away. Sejuani re-engages on the Soraka and is able to use the ult to get that kill. She's chasing after the Ezreal as the Maokai's peeling for the Ezreal, trying to get him to force back. Ryze did ult to get into the fight. There's the Varus ult to kind of lock down the Cass, the GOAT team, trying to get them to fade away. Looks like GOAT's trying to set up for that Drake again that just spawned. Ryze stays bot lane, giving the Varus time to back. Caitlyn's joining the fight, joining back up with the Sejuani now, though.
Ezreal ult is down. It was blown in that last fight.
Looks like they're trying to start back up again. They're not really synced, the GOAT team. The massive Cassiopeia ult gets 3 as the GOAT team turns and re-engages on them, takes both the Caitlyn and the Sejuani. Big arrow from Varus, but not enough to secure a kill. So that's a Drake number 2 for TPO GOAT.
That's,
After a long and
a good
lengthy
Drake.
fight that started well ahead, Soraka's kind of out of place. Doesn't have that much backup, but I don't think the Varus was aware of where the rest of the team was.
I mean, they have set up a lot of vision. Heckler set up vision in their bot side jungle to kind of like make sure that there's no surprise invades. But Caitlyn is headed mid. I'm guessing to try and relieve some pressure,
I
but
think she's just trying to poke that Soraka that's just clearing out vision. And
yeah.
um, so it is going to be lethality Caitlyn. She did get that Umbral Glaive first, so she's going to be able to clear vision a lot quicker than the Soraka. Because it is going to one-shot normal wards and then essentially two-shot a pink ward. But it looks
So
like the Hecklers are going to say hi to Cassante, because that's both Ryze and Olaf going topside. I don't know if Cassante's
is
able to. It does
coming.
not look like Cassante knows that they're there, but the Ryze steps out a little bit too early and he's just able to dash back to turret. But it looks like they're just trying to set up and secure their own objective in that Herald.
Olaf did blow his ultimate in that when they were trying to step up to Cassante.
Currently a 3 for 4. The Soraka joins, making a 4 for 4. And long range Ezreal ult's able to hit some. Cassante steals the Sejuani over the wall, but she's able to blast cone back over. The Cassiopeia ult lands on just the Caitlyn, but she's able to get out of there. Currently, nobody's going down. The Maokai W is able to bring him all the way to Caitlyn again. So Caitlyn does go down in this fight. The
Cassante ulted
Maokai
for
was
that.
able to actually secure that Herald as well.
That's big for the side of goats, honestly. Like even though they're very close in gold, they're only what 100 gold off, 200 gold.
300 gold off currently, about 200. And they're dropping the Herald directly mid. They have the inside path, so that's a lot of people headed mid. So they might be able to break that and get that first tower gold. I don't know if it'll get a second charge on the Herald.
No, Shelly's kind of dying there.
Yeah, she died before she could. It is something to notice that the Ezreal is kind of winning that poke war between the Ezreal and the
Yeah,
Varus. It is going to be a lethality Varus too, so he's going to want to be landing those Qs, but that Ezreal went Divine Sunder. He's going to poke. He's got his Mythic. A few items are rolling through. There is the
the Radiant
Demonic
Virtue on
Embrace
Sejuani.
on Maokai, the Radiant Virtue on Sedge. Leandri's on Cass. The
And
Jack
Jack
Show
Show
on
on
Cassante.
Cassante.
So yeah,
Cassante.
that is actually going to be the stride breaker up in top lane for the
Yeah.
Olaf.
I'm pretty sure that's what the normal. I think
And
Olaf typically goes at.
The Olaf's gonna be able to get it on his next back. So he is currently sitting on 2,000 gold. There's 1,200, around 1,200, 1,300 on Maokai and Cass, as well as that much
1300.
on Rise and Varus.
Varus did it back and was. He got the. There's 2 cooldown reduction boots in the bot lane for the Hecklers.
Yeah, the lethality, those ADCs go
Um,
lethality, they definitely want that cooldown just so they can pump out those abilities faster and kind of hit
Soraka went
more.
Mikhail's first item.
That's a very defensive, hey, I don't want my ADC getting caught by something, so she just wants to get that cleanse early so that she can cleanse for
So
somebody
the
if they get the Sejuani ult
Soraka
or the roots for Varus.
Soraka was in the bot side jungle and had to blow her flash to get away from the Sejuani. Caitlyn's just kind of hanging out. She's trying to poke because they're all kind of
They're
hovering
starting.
around Dragon, which does spawn in 11 seconds, and it's an Infernal Drake, which would put them at Soul Point.
Yep.
So Goats
Cass
definitely
trying
wants
to
this drag.
catch out somebody, but doesn't land any of the abilities. Rise is flanking in behind. The silence from the Soraka kind of offsets the ability. Sejuani gets stunned by the ult from Cass. She's able to cleanse the Sejuani ult immediately after. The Olaf gets rooted by the Maokai ult, but just able to get out and run away. Vera's still kind of poking out there, but the flank didn't
They
seem to
have no
work there.
smite for this dragon, so
Well, there's,
Sejuani went down.
yeah, and even still, the Maokai did have his smite item completed, so he's smiting at 1,200, while Sejuani's still sitting on 3 ticks on that, so she's only going to be able to do 9. So that was a fight that they'd have to win to be able to do that.
Yeah.
The Cassante
Just,
wasn't there though for that fight, which is something quite interesting that they're able to take fights that are essentially 5v4s currently.
it looks like this tier 1 turret in top lane is going to go down to the Olaf. Olaf is just like a little bit ahead of Cassante, especially in farm. And in gold, he's about almost 3,000 gold ahead.
Almost 2,000 gold.
Oh, can I not do math?
55 and 7,500.
I don't want to
But
talk about him.
that's the same amount of lead in the jungle. And there's a big lead in, there's about a 600 lead in mid lane for the Cass, as well as a 600 lead in bot lane for the Ezreal. So there is a lot of money going in on the side of the
It looks like we have a
carries.
Voltsy fan in chat.
Oh,
Oh,
the
Olaf
Soraka does get
blows
caught
her
out, but
flash.
she's able to get away. The re-engage from the Maokai, The Cassante steals away both the Maokai and the Varus. An interesting combination. The Maokai went to W to the Varus to root him down. But the Cassante said, "Nope, you're coming with me," to the Varus. So he just kind of got yanked out of the way. Just kind of made it so that fight couldn't be as big as it was.
Yeah.
The Rise was able to
Um,
clear that wave well, so that there wasn't that much pressure that TPO Goat was able to apply on that. They had to take a lot of turret shots and damage from that Rise combo. The Rise
uh,
has made it to the final counter on the Rod of Ages too. So that's something that will give him a bit more damage as well as that level advantage.
Cassiopeia does have her Seraphs now, so.
Yep, looks like Rise is right behind it, and yes, it is a Kate support with barrier. Kind of odd. Do you think it would be like exhaust maybe? Um, but it's
No,
more of a
ignite so they could
selfish
do a
play.
level 1 ignite.
More of a selfish play on the Kate. It's getting the barrier, saying like I need to keep myself alive, but she hasn't done a great job of it so far, going 0-5 and 3.
Oh, I didn't realize this, Caleb. Um, it looks like bot lane is kind of like mimicking. They both have serrated Dirk. While I'm not sure what Ezreal is building, but
So
I don't know. I'm not sure about or he's going Manamune, isn't he?
yep, there he's going Banamune. Um, the serrated Dirks are probably at least Duskblade for the Kate might be Eclipse. I don't really know if it will be the Eclipse because they kind of took away that Omnivamp on that item. So the Varus doesn't
And
always go that.
it doesn't really make sense to build it anymore. I don't know what the real difference between like the Duskblade and Eclipse, but now without the Omnivamp, like is there really a point building it? Oh, you're better with that stuff than I am.
I don't know off the top. It looks like the Hecklers are trying to get that early insight onto the Drake. The Sejuani ult goes wide while the Cass is able to get ult on two people. The
Ooh,
Maokai does allow them to kind of re-engage and take out more. It looks like it's going to be... No, the Sejuani's able to get out just barely with their life. That was a
Ezreal ult just
3
misses.
for
Just
0.
misses.
It looks
Oh,
like
they're going
TPO
for
Go
Baron.
is just going to decide to pull the trigger on the Baron. The Sejuani right now is in a position where she has to back, so she would get there and potentially have to steal it. But Soraka
I think
is
she
kind
is
of
in any position
positioning
to
to
steal
kind
it.
of zone out the Sejuani if needed. She's now rotating back to be with the team. She didn't get anywhere close for that.
She didn't have the ability to get there in time. But
Because
it looks like the Olaf is gonna beat
Olaf's getting there ahead, though. He's without a
yeah.
team currently walking into that river. The full team of TPO Goat was able to get there before the Hecklers. Sejuani's trying to get there, but she's getting distracted a lot by that Soraka, getting zoned
Soraka.
out by essentially everyone. Olaf goes in, the smite goes down, it is soul secured by the Maokai, the fight's going on.
Nicely done.
Olaf's able to chunk out a lot of people, but not able to get anything. Cassante does go down. Maokai's looking for the re-engage, but goes down himself. Currently currently a 2 for 2, both tops and junglers going down. But the rest of the mid lane and bots are able to get out for both teams. So that's 2 Baron buffs down for TPO Goat right now. Um,
This game's insane. It's a bloodbath. It's a 17-8.
it's about a kill a minute. It is. I just noticed this too. It is a Leandry, so that is an AP Maokai. So he didn't really build anything tanky besides health currently.
Yeah, I mean, AP Maokai is still in the meta. Everyone's still building him that way. We have a 6-1-5 Cassiopeia with a 400 gold bounty and a 3-1-5 Ezreal with a 300 gold bounty. So TPO Goats is not one to mess with.
The Rise has started split pushing though. He is trying to get that bot tier 2, trying to get any sort of bounty gold going for his team, because that is going to be a big play. There is currently about 3,200 gold difference.
Gold lead. Yeah, between the two teams.
With
I
that
mean,
bounty
he
gold,
gets
he's able to get
gold.
back.
Yeah, he's kind of giving us a base though, without like when he's not fighting up. He's just gonna keep pushing. All
Yeah,
right.
but the minion wave isn't there to kind of push any further, and it is still
Yeah.
semi-dangerous. The Sejuani dashes in and throws out the ult on the Soraka. The Soraka goes down, but that's 2 ults blown because the Olaf did pull the trigger on his.
Yeah. Soraka did have ult, but opted to not use it.
I think it's
I
just
guess
kind of
it's better
saved for
to
a
save
safer
it.
day.
Yeah, well, I mean that, and like the rest of the team didn't really need it, so.
Well, she had no flash for that, so she's not flashing out. She can ult, but she's likely ulting for half a second.
Herself, yeah. And she's just gonna ult for herself. But full thorn mill goes on to Cassante, where Death Dance is bought by Ola.
Lies onto that cast, so
Rylai's,
she's gonna
yes.
stick even harder once she starts getting that poison ticks onto the enemy champs. It is something to notice. The Soraka still doesn't have a mythic. She did what the item is, the Chemtech Putrefier. She
Yeah, so
did
she
build that
doesn't have
second
a
item,
mythic built at all.
so she just kind of went, I want the anti-heal over anything else.
Um, but
Oh,
Varus
Cass might
did
be
go
getting caught
Eclipse.
out here. Nope, she's able to back off.
So I think that the only benefit to Eclipse is that it grants additional movement speed.
They're looking to make another play on the Cassiopeia. She does see them coming. She turns onto the Rise, trying to get anything out of it. Isn't able to see him. The Sejuani ult goes wide. This Cass is able
This
to
is
kind of survive and try to get out as much. The Ezreal ult is able to secure the kill onto Rise. It's currently a 1-for-1, but the rest of TPO Goat, the jungler in the bot lane, shows up to try to get a secondary kill onto the Sejuani. They are able to secure it. So a play to get shutdown gold costs them to both their jungler and mid. And the Kate is having to kind of slink away in shame and kind of try to hide behind the turret as the Ezreal kind of chases in further.
it's the Caitlyn ult did go down in order to take out the Cassiopeia. Like Caitlyn had to use her ult in that fight.
So that was 2 ults that did go down for that Cass, and only
Sorry, my
there was
headset's
2 that were
off.
blown as 3, because Cass, Maokai, and Ezreal were all blown in that fight as well. They should be up for the next one. Oh, Kate's looking to stop the Ezreal. The flash is blown to avoid the Sejuani ult. Definitely worth something to make sure that they don't get caught out. Looks like both teams are starting to try to get that vision around that
Baron
dragon
spawns
pit.
in 15 seconds and the Elder's up in 50. So it looks like they're going right for Baron. Goats are
So
gonna go for Baron, and then they're gonna have to like book it to Elder.
they should blow it up. They do have enough damage right there to just kind of shred
Yeah, they
through
do.
it. Looks like Hecklers are not, the Conduit Hecklers are not even thinking about Baron
No.
and just looking to get that inside vision on Dragon Pit. The Cassante art is going to back, get a little bit more of items for him, get healthy, and try to
He got the Bammy Cinder.
get there with the ult. But good engage by the Hecklers to kind of pressure out the rest. The cast is forced to flash and get and use the Zonias, but it looks like the goats are just too strong for them right now. They did get the Cassiopeia, but everybody else was able to stay healthy there and take a 4-for-1, leaving only the Kate support up.
So
They aren't even
that's
thinking about
yeah, they're
the
not even going for Elder.
for the Elder. They're just looking to pressure down, get some damage onto that Nexus turret, see what they can do.
I don't think that there's much that they can do to
The
contest this. Their
Cassante
entire
was
team's
tanking a
down.
lot of damage, but now they're not going to be able to go for that um, Nexus turret because that inhib did respawn. So it kind of delays the push, allowing the rest of the Hecklers to spawn. But it looks like the TPO Goat
I
team
mean,
is just kind of rotating back to go for that Drake, clear up vision, heal back up,
take all of
take
Sejuani's
blue
jungle.
buff. Did look like the
Oh, I didn't realize that Ezreal went for Ravenous later in the game, which is insane.
Rise ult to ult himself closer, but not bring the Sejuani with him. They are zoned out. It is burning down. I don't know if the Sejuani is even able to get close. No, and
No.
the Rise is caught out away from his team. The Cassante
Oh,
goes all out and pulls him away from the rest of the team. The Kate, Rise, and Sejuani kind of fall for that attempt to even get anywhere near that Drake, leaving only the Olaf and Varus up to kind of defend their base against an Elder and a Baron buff. I don't know what,
that's
but I
insane.
think
I
this is
don't.
just GG. I don't even know if they're going to try to fight it. It looks like the Varus and Olaf are going to try to do anything. Qs are getting poked out, but they're not doing that much damage. The Cass and Ezreal just turn and blow up the Varus, and Soraka secures the final kill onto the Olaf. And it looks like it's GG, and game one goes to TPO Goats in a
Nicely done.
dominating fashion.
Dominating is one word for it. Wow, that was an insane game. They just kind of like ran them over. There was no hesitation there. The Maokai did 36,000 damage against the Sejuani's 10. So there was a lot of damage on the side of the TPO ghosts. That was kind of crazy. Great job. Nicely done.
All right. And we are going to go to a quick break as the teams get set for game two. So we'll be right back shortly.
Yes. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back into the pick ban phase for game two.
Ooh,
There is a
uh,
missing ban from, it dropped down to just one ban loss for TPO Goats this time. So we currently have the Amumu Mord from Conduit Hecklers, and a Heckram ban from TPO Goat. What do you want to see different in this game to see if
Not a
the
Caitlyn
Hecklers can bring
support.
bring it to game 3? Not a
Not a
Caitlyn
Caitlyn
support?
support.
No,
No.
did not
No,
hit.
that was it just didn't do anything for me there.
Oh, and
Oh,
Udyr to round out. There's a lot of bands that are in the jungle. That's like all those bands can be played in the jungle. Hecarim, Udyr, Maokai,
top lane
Mord, and
too.
Amumu.
Udyr, Maokai, Mord, and Amumu can all be played top lane. I mean, Amumu not seen much in the top lane, but Udyr has been showing his face up there.
And Amumu
So
and Maokai can be played in support, but that's a first pick Soraka, so that looks like a big thing that the TPO Goat team definitely wanted to see.
yeah. I mean, Soraka did a lot to help pretty much the entire team, not just the AD carry. So she was definitely seen a lot across the map. Kindred was locked in first on the side of the
So
conduits.
definitely a jungle pick. It looks like the jungler might look to be more aggressive this time, trying to get those marks
I
for
thought they
them.
just nerfed Kindred though. Kindred in the jungle, like they did something to her E. Red was explaining it to me.
Honestly,
I mean,
oh,
she's still strong, but
I like that
it's a
pick.
Rel. Yeah, I know you too. Jim is a Rel fan. I've never played Rel, but she is strong and she's annoying, so that does create a lot of help for the mediary.
And that's sorry, I'm choking on water. That's a vibe pick for the jungle. I'm guessing of TPO
Yes.
goats.
Let's. Can you stop dying? I need a caster. Somebody send a new one. Um. So we do have. Oh my god. We do have a Kaisa lock in for TPO goats. So that's a Kaisa Soraka bot lane.
Kaisa Soraka Vi for TPO goats. And then Kindred Rel. And they're currently hovering
Ooh.
the Mundo. But they settle on the Malawi. So there is the offset of picks. TPO goats could look to ban out some more ADCs while the Conduit Hecklers
Ooh,
could
they picked
ban
Malawi. Moana.
top lane to kind of give that favorable matchup there. But a Malzahar ban from Conduit Hecklers and a cast in answer from TPO Goat.
Why is Malzahar banned?
It's just a safe mid lane pick. It's something that a lot of people pick as a blind pick in mid lane because it doesn't do much, doesn't do a crazy ton, but it doesn't really have any like severely bad matchups.
I mean that ult goes down on top of someone, and the rest of your team engages around it. Like that could be a great setup. So
That's Vagar
let's.
to round it out, and then the Caitlyn. Apparently, they didn't want the Caitlyn support.
Ooh, Tristana Rel. I want to. I mean, Tristana's a great pick all around, but
It
I
looks like
still.
they're gonna just want to engage with that rel and then throw the bomb on top of the people as the rel pulls them in, so that there's a bigger explosion.
Yeah.
See what
Uh,
they have to answer. A Cassiopeia once again for the mid lane of TPO goats. The Voltsy definitely likes that cast. Did exceptionally well on it in game one. Not entirely sure why they left it up after seeing that, unless they have an answer for it.
well, if it's a rise, that's the wrong answer.
And who's going to round up the TPO GOAT team in top lane? It is Cassante. 3 out of the 5 picks stayed the same. It's just the mix change up in the jungle position in the ADC. Jungler was forced to switch while the ADC decided to just go with the change and pick the Kaisa to kind of go in and try to assassinate more of their backline. Be a bit more mobile against that rel as well.
They didn't ban any, like, the bans for conduits, like what they banned all stayed the same for the most part.
And that's a little bit better of a pick. Another hyper-scaling AP carry in the mid lane for Conduit Hecklers. They go with the Victor to kind of counteract that hyper-scaling effect. He does put out a lot of damage in the late game, so he does scale just as well as the Cass and the Rise, but
Yeah.
has a bit more wave clear to him with that empowered E.
You know,
So
I have seen a Victor AD carry. Victor's been being pushed down to the bot lane in some scenarios. I don't think it works in every scenario, but
these are
it would
definitely
be interesting
more.
to see one.
These are definitely more of just standard team fight picks. They just want a team fight. They don't really want to split push or anything. Maybe the Alawi split pushes a bit, but she's also good in team fights as well as the Cassante. I think that's an unfavorable matchup for the Cassante actually.
Is that?
Checking right now. How well does Cassante do into an Alawi? I want to say he gets bullied like crazy.
I don't even see Cassante in Coconut's shampoo.
Yeah, Alawi is a tough matchup. Looking at it right now, she has Cassante wins 42% of the time according to u.gg right now against Alawi, so that is going to be something that's going to be tough. It looks like
If one
he
of the
did get
goats team
counterpicked both times, so it is.
is watching, that can tell me if Coconut actually plays Cassante, because I cannot see it in his champ pool.
Listen, everybody plays Cassante. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know how to play Cassante.
Need to learn.
Oh yes. Well, I'm trying to learn Nevi. We don't have to overload too much stuff here.
I thought you were going top lane.
So
Get that goat going
uh,
on.
listen, I will take Urgot in any lead. So right now, what do you think these teams are looking like?
Um, I do like the effect of Alawi just kind of getting into that team to kind of create the space with the alt and kind of wombo combo. There's a lot of wombo combo actually in regards to the Hecklers team. The rel goes in, all of a sudden you have rel on top of all you, sucking you all into one zone. The Tristana bomb goes out, the um, Victor ult goes out, as well as the Alawi can flash in with that ult and just starts raining damage on you. So it is something that, if played right, they can do a large amount of damage on you really quick in a team fight. But it is something that can be counteracted. The Vi can dive that backline to get to that Victor. Cassante, not Cassante. Cassante could get a flank and just take somebody away. We saw it in the last game when he just stole the Varus away from the team and the Maokai that time. But the Kaisa can get in there as well and just trying to quickly assassinate that backline if played right. So it's ultimately like who plays it better in this. I do think that it is a little bit of an easier matchup in regards to the Wombo effect. The Rel is somebody that's it's not too difficult to land that W knock up on. So I do think it does go a little bit more into favor of the Hecklers, but
No.
the TPO GOAT team was able to show off a lot of resiliency regarding the poke last game, and they were able to kite a lot in team fights. You saw great
Yeah.
kiting from Volt C. You saw great kiting from Stars Horror. To kind of keep everything away, and the Soraka was able to just kind of heal everybody up. Right.
Yeah, no, Soraka was very impactful last game, so I'm looking forward to see what the TPO Ghost team can bring to see if they can kind of counter the Hecklers team comp. But I think that we're going to go to a brief spectator delay. So we shall return after these short messages. Tab messages. Hello and welcome back to game 2 of TPO Ghost versus the Conduit Hecklers. Let's see what shenanigans are pulled. Level 1, I'm hoping for something. um, the Cassiopeia starts tier again. Both 80 carries start the longsword with 3 potions. I like to see that. I hate those starting items personally.
And
And
nobody's really fighting
unfortunately,
over vision this time.
no. I have chat and it's always interesting to see Volty say hi to people in game. It looks like um, Cassiopeia is just going to have an emote exchange with Kindred, or maybe they're going to go in. No, yeah, they're just gonna do their own thing. Oh, everyone's hyping up Boltsy here. Apparently, he's got some
The
fans in the
blue
chat
side
here.
is Goat. And it is currently 1-0 in their favor.
Yes.
Red Saga.
I want to see an easy 2-0 here. And thank you, Stars Whore, for playing my favorite skin.
Yeah, that chroma.
I have some pretty chroma.
It's a Star
This
Guardian bot lane, though.
yeah, yes it is.
The Rel and
Ooh,
Tristana hit level 1 first. They go heavy in onto the Kaisa, throwing out the Ignite and everything, but the Soraka's able to use her heal and get that Kaisa's out. But they're not level 2 yet, so the Kaisa's still in danger. Level 2 takes over, so Soraka's able to potentially get that W and heal up the Kaisa, but she didn't blow any potions as of yet.
yeah. Neither of the 80 carries have blown any of their potions, so. Tristana is playing extremely aggressive early.
That's what they're going to need to do against the with the Rel is just play aggressive, get on top of them. It looks like the Alawi is punishing that
Yeah.
Cassante a lot. This Soraka and Rel going again, kind of on off targets. The Tristana was looking to try getting a kill on the Kaisa, while the Rel was looking at the Soraka. Another big fight in mid lane. Volty on the cast, applying pressure and bullying the Victor hard after that single engage. But he's kind of low on mana, and that Kindred is right around. The Kindred is getting caught up by the Vi. Vi's going in after him. Fights on all fronts as the Vi. Now there's a fight, a flash in from the Tristan to secure the kill on the Soraka. First blood going to her as both the junglers and the mid just kind of back off of that fight in mid lane as well.
It looks like both the jungler and the jungler from both teams and the bot lane is trying to apply pressure for the first drag.
It is something to notice. Kindred did blow her flash in that little scrimmage in that top river. Both Soraka and Tristana traded flashes for that kill, that first blood in bot lane. But looks like the bot lane of Hecklers is going to back, reset, get that gold. Tristana coming back with a full noon quiver.
Yeah. Um, we
There
do
is
have a
that
Hex
farm
Tech
difference, though.
in bot lane.
Yeah, 31 to 19, and
Yeah.
that wave just crashed into that turret. I don't know how much Tristana can get there. Sante's kind of playing safe, not pressuring up too far, doesn't know where that Lowy is. He's been getting bullied and losing farm there. Looks like the
Yeah.
Tristana was not able to get the whole amount of that wave, so she is quite a bit down.
I'm surprised to see Victor did not pick up the crystal. Instead decided to get two of the amplifying tomes versus the sapphire crystal that Cassiopeia went, because that does give additional mana, which I'm guessing Cassiopeia needs a lot of. So
Well, Victor might be going Ludens, which won't have the sapphire crystal in it. Well, sapphire crystal is something that is used to build into Cass and the
It's used in Ludens.
Leandries. What?
How's it not used in Ludens?
Ruby crystal?
Not ruby crystal,
Oh,
the
okay.
sapphire
Sapphire,
crystal.
sorry. Yeah. Um,
I was like, wait a second, what?
he might not have gone with it since he does have that Doran's ring that generates mana for him.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. You can see where the matchup is going to be hard for Cassante here. Because if Alawi throws out that E and then presses all of her other abilities on top of it, it's just going to chunk Cassante down.
Yeah, and he's currently in a spot where those tentacles are just kind of lining up perfectly for that Alawi.
Yeah.
But the Hecklers did rotate, and are first to go to that Drake. It does look like the Vi is sniffing it out. I don't know if they're able. They don't contest it at all. You kind of go
Why
like,
do you have
okay,
to
they're
say
there.
that?
What?
I hate when you say they're sniffing it out. Like, it drives me insane.
Sniffing it out?
Yeah. I
Why?
have a new word for it. I don't know. Pet peeves, Jim. Um, basically, for everyone is even for the most part on CS wise, except for Kazante, who is struggling a little bit in top lane. Alawi did get that. It's called Phage,
Yep, phage.
which gives the attack damage and additional health. So Kazante is struggling a little bit, but I believe.
The Rel
So
does go in quick onto that Soraka. Soraka goes down right away. The Vi's able to counter engage, but the level 6 on Kindred does make it so that Kindred makes it out. Kaisa is forced to get out of there. The Vi re-engages with her ult, but goes down, and the Tristana jumps back in to get a second kill onto the Kaisa. Big fight going in the way of um, Hecklers, but actually all those kills went on to Tristana. It just showed it as a double instead of a triple.
yeah, Tristana's sitting on like 2,600 gold, which means that she has the potential to come back with a full Kraken Slayer.
That fight just boomed the gold lead in massive favors
Yeah.
into that Tristana. Oh, Kindred does kind of overstay, gets caught out, and does die trying to take that mark. The Cass is chasing, trying to get a second kill, gets the second kill onto the Rel. Victor flashes, trying to get away, but
Is
Victor's
Volsty
able
gonna
to kind
die
of
again?
walk
I was.
out.
I think if Cassiopeia didn't blow her flash, she definitely would have dove tower for Victor. And Alawi does come back with a first item Hullbreaker, which is gonna just make Kazante's life even more hell. Tristana has a full Kraken Slayer and the tier one, is it level one boots, tier one boots, whatever it is. Um, and while Kaisa's still working on her Kraken Slayer. And I think that's all. Oh, Cassiopeia went Rod of Ages and has that completed. So.
Oh, that's an
Oh
interesting
no.
change in build. Oof. Tristana and Rel is punishing that bot lane even further. Rel does take one kill, but that's 5 kills and a 500 gold bounty onto that Tristana. They're pressuring that bot turret as well.
Um, between Tristana and Kaisa, the match is favored toward Tristana because she has that her W, which is just on like an instant cooldown, or has the ability to be an instant cooldown, where Kaisen is gonna scale like later in the game, and Tristana kind of falls off. So Kaisa has the ability to get back into the game. She just needs to farm her way back.
So it is something that, oh, the Soraka is getting caught out. I don't know if she's able to get out. The Rel
No.
and Tristana jump in. Kaisa
Oh
uses her
no.
ult to try getting away, but the Kindred follows flashes over the wall to secure the kill. It is something to notice that Tristana does have Kraken Slayer already, and the Alawi did go Hullbreaker, so she's looking to split push. But there is a counterplay on top side. Ooh, Cassante almost dies there, but the Vi is able to secure the shutdown kill on that Alawi and
Wish
saves
I
that
could
Cassante.
see how much health, because Cassandra with 80 health. 80. That's insane. We do have a Mountain Drake coming up in 30 seconds. The Rook Herald has not been touched by either team.
First tower was taken by the Rel, Kindred, and Tristana on bot side. Chempunk Chainsword is picked up by Vi. Kraken by Kindred, so she's already onto her mythic. So there
It's
is a lot of
interesting to
power
see
coming out.
that Chem Punk as the first item for Vi.
Probably looking to get rid of that anti-heal.
From
Hecklers are looking to just use their power and kind of take control of the second Drake. The full team of TPO Go is here. The Rel goes in, hits a knock up on everybody. The Cass is able to get a massive ult on everybody, but the Kindred Tristana is able to hop out, and the Kindred is able to use her ult. Currently a 2-for-1. The Alawi's turned around and come down. Soraka and Vi are stuck in the pit. The Vi ults to Tristana. She's able to hop away with that reset on the Soraka kill, and the Vi does go down as well. It is a 4-for-1 and the Drake. Heckler
now,
pulls away further.
um, so Vi smited, but I don't think she smited the dragon. Because her smite is down. Unless it just came up and I'm missing it, but this is a little rough for the TPO goats right now, but they're gonna need to shut that Tristana down, shut the Alawi down. Oh boy.
Can you check the stream, Emily? Is it showing the game currently?
Yeah.
Okay. I
Why?
just noticed that Red Eagle said, can't wait to see the game.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure
No.
that I wasn't having any sort of technical difficulty on my end.
No,
This
it's a
is
little blurry, but I don't know if it's just me.
oh, Red's also in a
Yeah. Red's in
hotel,
yeah, he's
a
in hotel.
cruise ship,
Red, go on vacation. Get off of Twitch.
300 ping.
Yeah. Yeah. Victor did pick up the Luden's Tempest for his first item. He still has the tier 1 boots.
Odd switch to put the Victor up in top lane and the Lowy in bot lane. I don't know why they didn't just try going for that, but I guess it's just so that they can take the Herald. They completely uncontested. I don't. What do you think that TPO Goat can do to get back into this game? Just go for try to catch somebody out? Do they try to take a 5v4 to see if they can get a win?
Price is really not in any position to take a a team fight right now until she gets the mythic, because Tristana's almost there to Infinity Edge, so Kaisa needs to farm her way back into this
No,
game.
and she's up against that Alawi that's gonna bully her. I don't know.
Yeah, Alawi with a Sheen, Hullbreaker, and Mertruds. No.
She just used her E and just completely pressured Kaisa off of that tier 2 and was able to take it. I don't really know who's able to kind of stop her in this aspect because Cassante was struggling, but they're able to take both mid turret as well as mid tier 1 and tier 2 and bot lane.
Yeah, I think that coach just has to play a little bit more careful. But I think that the Kaisa's just struggling, and she's not able to be a part of the team fights right now.
So you're just saying farm up and I'll see you in late game? Because
Farm up,
Tristana's
and I'll see you at the fifth, at least a 25-minute mark.
because Tristana's already to Infinity Edge. She just picked up that Infinity Edge,
Yeah.
so she's gonna
Yeah.
she's gonna look at a turret, sneeze, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah. I mean, Tristana does a ton of damage, and against a Kaisa, it's not like in Kaisa's favor right now.
She
I mean, I
has.
do play both champs, so like I kind of understand what the how much each can take, and a Tristana bump is not something that Kaisa can handle right now,
Oh,
especially with how
Rel and
behind she
Kindred
is.
go on the Kasante. He's forced to ult and then flash out to get away to not give over another kill. Looking at the gold, the Tristana currently has double the gold of the Kaisa.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I was talking about like Kaisa's not really in this game right now.
There's a 2,000 gold lead in the advantage of the Rel over the Soraka, and a 3,000 gold lead for the Alawi over the Kasante. The only gold lead that TPO Goat has is on that Cass in mid lane. I don't know how much longer with the Victor taking that top turret by himself.
I I'll be honest. Normally, I'm like, oh, that we can come back from this. I don't know if they have the power to come back this late in the game. With like and like what I mean by late in the game, like the turrets are down. There's vision all in that bot side jungle on the side of TPO Ghost that was placed by Conduit. So
It looks like
I would
the
recommend banning Tristana.
it looks like the goats are just sacrificing the third Drake to
Yeah,
get any type of gold and just take that top turret, but the Alawi's just pressuring that inhib turret, and
the Herald was
the Herald's
dropped,
gonna
so that's kind
crash
of
there too. It looks like they're going all
ooh.
in to get the victor, but it's stopping them from backing to provide aid to the Soraka and Kaisa as Hecklers are just rotating across the map, taking turret after turret. They took the inhib as now the tier 2 in mid lane as the Kaisa and Soraka are forced to try to make it so that the Ralawi is not able to go and take that inhib for free.
Yeah, no, Daffalo is right. Like, let the inhib fall, farm the super minions, and hope for late. Like, that's how they're gonna come back. And Kaisa just kind of needs to stay back. Um, Baron is up in about 50 seconds. The next Drake is up in 4 minutes. So
I would
maybe
say
if they can take this Baron, but
I would say
I
gain a
don't think
pick,
that they
but
can.
the only picks that they've had available to them was that Victor that they were able to secure, and then the Alawi. And I don't know how much you want to fight that Hullbreaker Alawi, because otherwise, Rel, Kindred, and Tristana are like holding hands skipping through your jungle.
Yeah, that disallow is going to stop them from being able to
And
take any type of objectives.
it looks like that's what they're looking for. Looks like they're trying, the Vi's trying to get onto that Alawi to kind of delay her, so that the rest of the team can get there, but they're tracking far behind. She's smiting, she's
This
ulting.
is going to have to ult
The
to
W
Delawi.
doesn't even land on the Alawi. Kaisa's already forced out of the fight. Kaisa goes down, so does Soraka in a 1v4. This Alawi is just shredding through them, has taken 3, looking for the
Holy
4th.
crap.
She is just unstoppable. The Kasante is quick to follow. A quadra kill goes over as the rest of Hecklers is able to go and take Baron.
Yeah, they burned Baron and gave Alawi a quadra kill. That's not.
Alao is just sitting there standing there saying, "Send more, please."
So I'm going to see an Alawi Tristana band next time. Go next. I don't know if you can go next.
I don't know how
But
much they might have be going next shortly because that's mid inhib going down immediately
yeah.
after that Baron and Quadra and bot inhib. They're kind of forced to tuck tail and hide now in their base. Kindred's able to just rotate for that blue buff and take that mark again.
What is
Want to check her marks?
Tyson? Yeah. Let me see. What is Kindred's? I It won't let me check that. 28 marks. Yeah. It looks like she's at 20. No,
That doesn't sound
I don't
right.
know how many marks. For some reason, it's
She's at 8.
going 8 marks.
She's at
Okay.
8 marks.
Yeah, I'm looking at the countdown. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right.
She's at 8 marks.
Um, the TPO goats has been on top of staying.
No, it's 8.
Yeah, no, 8 marks, not 28. 8 marks.
I think Emily was
Mid lane.
reading the cooldown to change who her next target is.
Yeah, leave me alone, Red. Mid lane, everything's
Oh,
burning around them. Meme, everything's fine.
they might be.
That would
Oh,
be
the
the
ult goes
strongest
down
thing
on the
to do.
Kindred as a
Oof.
full fight goes out. Coconut's diving in, trying to get a kill onto the Kindred, but she's able to kite out. The full team of Hecklers has responded. The Tristana does go down to the Kaisa. Big shutdown gold, but Kaisa's caught out. She's going to get chased down by that Victor, without a doubt. It's now currently a 3v4, a 2v4 as Soraka
2v2.
goes down. A 2v2 in base, but I don't think that you can win that 2v2.
No,
You just try to 1v4 against that Alawi and lost. I don't think that you're going to get much out of there. Sadness tries to get that Kindred, but goes down. Trying. So does Voltzy, trying to just shut down, but Conduit
that's
Hecklers
all she
does
wrote.
take game 2 in as dominating fashion as TPO Goat had in game 1.
So there's a big difference in pretty much all lanes except for like the jungle was like somewhat even. Unfortunately, bot lane just didn't have enough to answer the Tristana, and Cassandra did not have enough to fight the Alawi. Once that Hullbreaker and it's the Iceborne Gauntlet came, it kind of solidified the deal there. She was just too far ahead. However, there is going to be another game, so we can even out this scoreline. I'm hoping to see a Tristana Alawi ban. Tristana was one of the bigger issues for the TPO goats. So we're gonna go on a short break while we prepare for game number 3. So we shall return.
Welcome back, everyone. We are going quick. The teams are quick and ready to get into the Game 3 draft. Um, once again, TPO Goats. Do they have a.
What? Oh, it's Conduit's
Oh,
Hecklers. I don't know why they changed it to CEH, but it's Hecklers.
yeah.
So we do see a Moo ban first. That's aimed towards Sadness. Sadness does play a lot of the Moo.
And TPO Goat doesn't have that first ban, so that is going to be waited and put out because they are still using that emergency sub on their end. So that's a Moo and what looks like another Mord. Sticking to with the bans from game one and game two. Hackerim for TPO Goats, which is the same ban that they've had in both game one and game two. And a
And the
Maokai.
Maokai.
So, yep,
Oh,
there's
they
the
did ban the
Alawi. We're
Alawi.
not going with that Alawi again. She was way too dominant. That 1v4 quadra kill in game two would kind of told the goats that they had enough. They don't want to deal with it. Leave us alone. Get rid of that.
Oh, a Wukong Hopper and
So Wukong first pick.
Instalock. Yeah. I'm guessing, I want to say that's a Wukong jungle.
It's more common to see it in the jungle. It's sometimes played in top lane still, but more often than not, it's using that jungle to kind of set up some plays and get
Yeah.
the team going.
That Wukong clone drives me insane.
I think anything with clones drives you insane. Nothing will beat
um,
the Zed that we had that one game that ulted the LeBlanc clone
she...
on repeat. Oh, and that is a Caitlyn taken by TPO Goat, so it looks like they wanted the Caitlyn this time. I don't know if it's going to
yeah.
be the support like Hecklers did, or if it's going to be an Caitlyn 80 carry, and it looks like it might
Ooh.
be with that Karma getting locked in, but I have seen it get played. I have seen Karma top, I have seen Karma mid, but I think it might be a Caitlyn Karma bot lane.
Like, whenever I see Caitlyn locked in, I want Lux locked in. Like, a Caitlyn Lux bot lane is probably the most, like, toxic bot lane. It looks like the Ezreal is insta-locked for the side of Conduit Hecklers. And are they going to bring out the support here? I don't know. I'm interested to see where this Karma goes. It's an Ashe Ezreal. Or it's an Ezreal mid lane?
No, it's probably Ezreal Ashe bot lane with the Ashe support.
I mean,
She's
I've
getting.
seen Ezreal been played mid lane lately. I'll be surprised, but anything is, I've been away from the casting scene too long. Oh, come join us, Sigma.
There's the Vi for Why Sadness again. And a Cassidin ban once again from TPO Goat in phase 2. They don't want that. The Cass is finally banned from Voltsy, so he's not playing that for a third game in a row. Olaf banned by TPO Goat against Feathers and Fur. So that's 2 bans, so he's going to have to play something else for game 3. What is the final ban?
Ooh. Ola was banned, Cassidy was banned,
And Malzahar.
Malzahar.
So they don't.
Alright, well then.
Nobody wants that safe mid lane. Nobody wants to lane up against the safe mid lane of Malzahar, where it's just gonna push. He's not gonna let you roam if you want to roam, but he's not gonna. He's just gonna be exhausting to play against. That's Malzahar for you.
Yeah. Yep. Uh, let's see. Orange locked in for top lane. And let's see.
So that's an Ornn top, a different champion for the first time from Coconut. Looks like it's gonna be another Victor for Billy. Oh nope! Quick switch to the Orianna for Billy Willard. Does synergize well with that Wukong. You can get that orb, that ball onto Wukong, and when he dives into that backline, he just unleashing that ult to kind of reset the fight.
Oh, yes!
And an Urgot for feathers and fur in the top lane into that Ornn.
Oh, I'm so excited. I love Urgot. Alright, where's that? And
And a
there's a
Vhagar.
Vhagar mid lane. Alright, I mean, I can dig it. It's an interesting comp. I don't what is the matchup between Vhagar and Orianna? You would know that better than I would.
It's kind of like let's scale and we'll see you in a little bit. Both
See you at
champs
the
want to
35
scale.
minute mark.
Both of them want to scale. Both of them are control mages. Ori's looking for that big ult on it. She's gonna have the assistance with the Wukong. Vhagar, if somebody gets caught in the cage and Ornn's there, that's gonna be a lot of poke and damage because the Ornn's gonna follow up with that ult. Vi's gonna try getting into that cage. Caitlyn and Karma are going to throw anything into that cage, so it's going to be important not to get caught even in it.
I think the Karma Caitlyn has some potential if they're just gonna have to like keep that Ash. I'd say keep the Ash shut down because Ash's cooldown is like ridiculous as Ash support.
I think it's another game of who pokes who more, like game one. Because the Ezreal and Ash are going to look to poke, the Karma and Caitlyn's are going to look to poke each other, so it's going to be who's poking each other down more, because neither side's going to have that healing.
Yeah.
Wukong and Vi are both going to look to gank and get their lanes ahead. Because that's where they thrive, is those ganks, those fights, those skirmishes. Well, Ornn's going to look to be the tank that scales. Vhagar will, as eventually, even if he's behind, he will outscale the Orianna just based off of his unlimited scaling power with that passive. So
Urgot is a counter to Ornn. So it will be interesting to see who
because
wins this top lane matchup because I
I
mean
believe
I
if
love both
Urgot
champs,
times
but
it right, I believe he can interrupt the dash for the knockup in the ram horn with his
yes,
E. So I
yes, he
believe
can.
that's how it's played out.
Yeah, if Urgot times it right, he can cancel Ornn's knockup. So we will see. It definitely is Vhagar mid. I was kind of hoping they were gonna like do something spicy, but it is because Ornn support, or not Ornn support, Vhagar support is still played a lot. So
No, it is Vhagar mid. So it is the Ori Vhagar, and they're just both going to want to farm and scale.
all right, well,
I
I
believe
do
that,
think both teams have potential. They just have to. It looks like they have a lot of scaling here.
yeah,
Lots of scaling.
TPO GOAT does have a lot more scaling, so they do have the, if you guys don't get drastically ahead in the late game again, we are going to outscale you and make it so that your life is not fun anymore. Because any ability from Vhagar is going to feel like essentially a nuke. When he gets heavy into late game, he's going to be looking at those things like the Ashe and the Ezreal and be like, once I get you to a 3/4 health, you're getting ulted.
And then Urgot, if he gets Ornn low enough, he's going to ult the Ornn, or really anyone that has that has low enough health. So we shall see.
We are going to go on to a quick break, but we shall be back shortly. So stay tuned.
Yes, indeed. Hey, welcome back everyone to game number 3 of TPO Goats versus Conduit Hecklers. So this is the third game of the series. It is 1-1 right now. So I'm excited to see these teams are fighting for the winning game. Whoever wins gets the game for the evening. So we shall see. What do you have for us, Jim?
It's kind of quiet so far. Vision was set down. It's kind of just like standard defensive vision. It's going to be exciting to see who's going what. It is something to notice that the Ori did go tier first, as well as the Ezreal versus the Doran's Ring and Doran's Blade of Caitlyn and Vhagar. So there's going to be a lot more kill potential and pressure on TPO Goat side for those two lanes, both mid and bot, because of the amount of damage that those lanes can put out versus the other. They don't really have any additional stats going for them besides just their base stats because of those tiers.
And Urgot went corrupting potions instead of Doran's blade, which corrupting potions is the typical. I'll say typical build. But he's probably going it for the
mana effect.
these yeah. Yeah, because Urgot struggles heavy on mana in the early games. Really until he reaches level 3, so. So it's just gonna be your typical poke lane down here in bot lane. The Karma does have the potential to have a big effect. The bot lane.
And it
with her
is,
root and increased movement speed.
I will say, I have noticed that the Conduit Hecklers are always able to get to level 2 before TPO Goat. So that is something that I have noticed. They just kind of push the lane harder to get those minion kills and get ahead faster. Good poke onto Ezreal, but it's answered by the Ashe.
And
Even CS in all lanes right now.
well, I think mid lane's going to be because they kind of like don't want to fight each other until later on. Neither champ is good like right off the bat early game.
No.
Violet, the score is 1-1. But Urgot is going to fight Ornn a little bit earlier, since he did hit level 4 first.
It is something to notice. All of those corrupting potions are gone on Urgot now. The potion is gone on Ornn as well, so they're just running off of what they got. Looks like Vi is not going to go for that scuttle, but try to get a gank in mid lane. The flash on Ori is blown. There's no mana on Vhagar, so that cage was kind of it. So it is a gank for that flash. Vi's looking for that bot scuttle, but the Wukong was there. Wasn't able to take it. The smite came through for the Vi to get that scuttle. Wukong's looking to come bot side, but the pings came out to kind of signify that there is vision in that lane. The Karma's looking to apply some pressure. Rooted down the Ashe, but nothing much comes out of it besides more poke on her. Orange just kind of like, let me farm. I just want to farm. Topside looking so far. Got a wave on him and ahead in
Urgot
CS
has to
currently.
play aggressive.
Urgot's looking to play aggressive, but he hasn't really engaged on the Ornn yet. The Ornn's just kind of like, let me just farm. The Wukong did wait for that vision to come down. He is looking for a gank bot lane. The Kate is caught. The flash blown, the E blown. She's able to get out just barely from that gank from the Wukong. So a good gank from Wukong. They can easily come back down and try to punish that Kate if they so choose so.
The Karma did use the exhaust in that fight with the Wukong.
Didn't even catch that. Oh, looks like the Urgot and the Ornn looking to apply some pressure and fight a bigger wave for Urgot, so that's going to deal a lot more damage for the Ornn. But Urgot's not sitting at a lot of mana, so I don't know if he wants to take any further of a fight.
Yeah, no, he does not. Urgot wants to kind of he is backing. Really, it would have been situational
Wukong's looking
too.
mid for something. Just kind of shows up to kind of help clear the wave. I think looking to make it easier for the Orianna to back. The Veigar's applying pressure. He does have his ult. I don't know if the Ori's low enough for him to. The ult coming
Oh.
out from Veigar quick onto that Wukong just makes the Wukong pay for kind of like a misjudgment, trying to be friendly and help out his Ori, but ended up costing the Ori more in the long run as she's forced to get to back and teleport in, and a kill win over the Veigar. So he's just going to push that wave in and back himself to kind of reset and take that gold and make it even in regards to the lost chapter.
So Urgot did use the teleport, um, and it came back with a pickaxe. And a control ward. It looks like control wards are all over the place with the Conduit team not letting Ornn be alone to farm. He wants to fight, which now he has that ult, so Ornn's gonna want to be careful when his health gets low.
It looks like the Ornn's just fine with freezing the wave right in front of his turret, telling Vi, hey, if you want to come up, you can. But Ornn's just looking at it going like, listen, buddy, I'm gonna see you later. Just let me farm. Because he's not taking
Leave
any
me alone.
fights. He's just like, give me my farm and be gone. I'll throw a Q out here, here, and there to kind of be like, hey, I will engage, but don't make me.
Yes.
The Wukong is pathing topside. Looks like he's taking that top scuttle. There's a ton of vision for um, goats in the bot side, but that pink ward does spot out the Vi on the way to mid lane, so the Ori just backs off.
The
As
dragon is up.
both
So
teams go
Wukong's
to
on the
kind
other
of,
side of the map.
yeah, both teams are just kind of like, I'm farming. Let me farm. The Ornn does have to be careful here because he is semi-low, and the Urgot does have his ult. If he gets a little bit more damage, he might look to pull it. But the Ornn's just going to reset here. Vi's
And
mid lane again, looking for a gank on that Ori, but I don't know what much she's getting. It's a very
no,
slow-paced game from last time,
yeah,
from the last two.
yeah, they just kind of wanted to beat the living daylights out of each other the last two games. So
I think both sides are just kind of looking at it going like, this is game 3, winner takes all, and nobody wants to make a mistake. The ult's
all the
going out from the
oh,
Heckler's bot lane to create some damage onto the Kate,
ooh.
but they're able to just peel off. Just the shield and heal from Caitlyn is able to get her out of that tricky business. Wukong showing up bot side. They might look to either try to go for some crazy dive or just let Kate and Karma push back out again and go for a play before Drake.
Yeah, and Vi's up top side, which it seems like when one jungler's down bot side, the other one is top. Which if Wukong turns on this dragon, it might just benefit Vi to go for the Herald.
But they don't know where the Wukong is yet, so he's just sitting there still.
Yeah, bot lane is pushed too far up for Wukong to be able to
The Vi is spotted on a pink
gank.
ward topside, so that just says to Wukong to go for that Drake. She's not going to be able to answer. Vi's just backing topside. Looks like she's not willing to do anything yet.
They probably would have gone for that Herald at that point.
I
Because
don't
that's
think
kind
they
of
know
free.
because there's no vision on Drake, so she can't just be like, "Hey, I'm just gonna go for this Herald because Wukong spot side."
Yeah, they now know that Wukong is on Dragon, so I would just head for that Herald.
And the first dragon
Uh,
goes down to just difference in pathing between the two junglers. Kong's looking to come in through bot side and look for a dive. He does catch the sense of the Vi. He doesn't know that she's there yet. They're looking to push in. He is
did he just
spotted out
take
by the
that
Vi.
from
Um,
her?
I believe so. I
um.
believe he just came in and smited it, taking the Gromp from
Oh, he
Vi.
did. That's rude.
She's just gonna have
Ezreal
to settle for the
is
scuttle.
Ezreal is slightly ahead of Kate Goldwise. Kate came back to lane with um full boots and a what is the thing called, the dagger. Ezreal came back with Sheen and two longswords.
You want to check the stacks on this Vhagar?
If I'm able to, yes. 78 stacks.
Okay. So that's something to
Which,
keep in mind. Wukong's still bot
yeah,
side. Ash's arrow is just thrown out. I don't know if she was looking to try to go for a long range jolt on the Ornn for the Urgot, but that is currently
the
down.
the Vhagar teleport is down as well to get back to lane. Continue his farming, which he's all lanes are fairly even, and except for jungle. The Wukong's a bit behind in farm and in gold. So
It looks like the Urgot was finally able to kind of pull away from the CS lead while pushing in that Ornn. So it looks like he was able to. Caitlyn and Karma in the bot lane are getting a lot of pressure onto the uh, turret, taking a plate away.
this top lane, they're just gonna like smack each other around for a little bit. It's like they're not fighting, but they're not doing a whole lot in that aspect. Rift Herald is still up, and it looks like there might be a fight for it between the Ornn, the Vi, and
Wukong's there too, so it's currently
Ash.
a 3v2. I don't know if they're aware of that. Looks like the Ornn and Vi are just wanting to back off because Ash was spotted in mid lane as well. Karma's
Ash is
pathing
there as
towards there,
well.
but it looks like Ornn and Vi are just looking to fight the Urgot. The flash is blown by both Vi and Urgot. They're looking to get that first kill. The Vi's gonna go down to turret shots and the Orianna ball. The Ornn is gonna also die as well. A double kill over to the Orianna. Good rotation from the mid lane. Ezreal did also rotate to mid to kind of provide some um, peel, but it looks like the Herald's gonna end up going to Hecklers.
It does look like Caitlyn is just uh like destroying that turret down bot lane. She got two plates
And
down
that's solo
there.
gold. And Ori's
The
teleport's going down. No, that's
Urgot,
Urgot.
that's an Urgot teleport that went down mid lane. Orianna went top. I don't think Orianna wants to be there right now, so. Both mid laners have lost chapter. It looks like Orianna went Leandries, and Vhagar is building Ludens. I wonder if Ornn's gonna go Radiant Virtue, or I don't really know what's built on Ornn. It's been a while.
It looks like that's gonna be a Radiant, not not
Well,
Radiant
that
Virtue.
builds it builds into Radiant Virtue. It builds into Jack Show.
Yeah.
So
Let me say the last time I played Ornn, it was Jack Show. Um, but there
yep,
is the Essence
it's
Reaver from Ezreal, the Divine Sunderer on Wukong, Black Cleaver coming in from the Vi as well.
it's interesting to see that like mythic items are not being built first. Like other items are.
Well, Essence
Um,
Reaver normally is rushed. If you're going to build Essence Reaver, you tend to build it to kind of get that mana regen. But it
I
looks
meant
like,
unlike the Vi with the um
oh yeah,
Black River.
oh,
Oh no,
big damage.
Sadness
Sadness
to
is
go
getting
down.
1v1 by the Wukong. Wukong's just able to take out the Vi before re-engaging with his ult onto the rest of TPO Go. Both the Caitlyn and Vi do go down in that fight. Big play by Glada on the Wukong right there.
Listen, there's a lot of fighting. You're starting to sound like Lupo, where Lupo couldn't breathe.
No, there hasn't been that much fighting. I think that's the issue. There hasn't been as much fighting this game as the last two games, which just throwing me off.
Yeah.
It's more of a slow roll. Let's just kind of outmaneuver. But the early game is coming out for the side of Conduit Hecklers. They're looking for the
They
engage on the Ori, but I don't know how much they
have
have
the
to
good
follow.
Ornn alt.
The barrier from Ashe does save her from the Veigar ult. The Veigar is able to get a shutdown with the W onto the Wukong. The Herald was able to get the charge, but wasn't able to take the turret, and without the tower plates, not much from it. But Ezreal was bot lane by himself and able to get a lot of pressure down. Ludens is completed on that Veigar, so he is going to start poking and hurting a lot more.
You at some point you may want to look into your stream quality is a little bit low.
I don't know why. It's not showing anything negative on my side.
It just looks blurry, that's all.
Is it on your end? Might be an issue with our internet where we're getting.
Yeah, with both of us spectating.
Yeah, both of us spectating.
I was looking at the stream and it was a bit blurry. So.
Well, I'm just saying, like you trying to spectate me streaming and spectating,
Gotcha.
and you trying to see the stream. It might be that because I'm not showing any dropped frames or anything like that.
I see. Yeah, then it's just me. Thanks,
Okay.
Kuba.
Thank you, Cuba. In the meantime, first turret did go down bot side. We did miss that while we were talking about technical difficulties.
Ezreal picked up the Farsight altercation. The Caitlyn picked it up as well. Caitlyn has Gale Force. There are 2 kills in the mid lane on both mid laners. And it looks like Urgot's building a Titanic Hydra versus a Ravenous, and the Jack Show did get built on Ornn.
Yeah. He's going to want to get into those fights and kind of keep bopping. Ooh, good knock up with the knockaway. He's applying a lot of damage. That Jack Show is doing a lot more work than the Titanic Hydra. Ori ult comes through, and a follow-up of an Ashe. Good Ashe ult. It allows Ori to claim that shutdown gold and get shutdown gold of herself. Good plays by the Hecklers to kind of catch out that Veigar in the side lane.
So that Jack Show has like is a health
Karma's
drain
getting
like
aggressive on that
513.
support. She is by herself, and that bot lane turret just went down. The Wukong could dash in and try getting more for this, but the Karma's looking to just peel for herself with that root. The Ezreal ult goes in, but does not secure the kill on the Karma. Sadness looking for a re-engage on it. A teleport coming in from the Veigar and the Ornn. It looks like TPO goats are looking to full commit. The Vi ult goes out. The Ornn ult misses the intended target of the Wukong. The Urgot ult barely misses the Vi as they turn around and do take the Wukong down. TPO Go is limping away from the fight as the Veigar and Ornn are able to kind of zone out the Urgot that did teleport in to join as well. A 1-for-1 in the long run of a long extended fight.
Are they able to take this with the Urgot there? They should be able to take that.
I don't think they're going to go for it. The Veigar is getting caught out. He is low. He's trying to put out any type of damage. Isn't able to get anybody low enough to try getting a kill. but does
Yeah,
do
he
a
does
healthy
go
amount
down
of
to the
damage,
Ezreal.
which is a big
Unfortunately.
downside because it is about to be 20 seconds on Drake, no teleport on Veigar, and they're trying to set up for that third Drake to make it so that they're not just allowing um, Conduit Hecklers to just walk away with the Drakes. It's a tight gold lead.
Yeah, it is. It is. This game is just like tight all the way around. I mean, you're gonna have to do something before the 25-minute mark, as like we've always said. Like
Ornn did
once the
just
25-minute
upgrade
help.
his own item, so he's going to be starting to upgrade items for his team in the next level or so.
Yeah. I'm
That's to
bummed to
keep in
see
mind.
Karma not build Night Harvester, but I think that that's more of like a solo to
Yeah.
build.
Ornn comes in with the ult, catches the Ashe. A big ult from Ori gets it so that the Ornn and the Vi are in there. Wukong re-engages, gets people double kill for Veigar. Jeez, this is a messy fight. Ornn and Veigar are left. They're chasing down the
Messy.
Ezreal, but it looks like the Ornn's gonna go
Oh,
down before the Ezreal is able to be taken out.
the
A 4
Vigars
for 2. The
is
Veigar's
still
looking to
up.
kind of peel
Baby
away for
cage, baby
himself. The baby
cage.
cage does
Oh no.
save him from getting the Urgot from just chasing him down, but the Conduit Hecklers are just looking to turn and take their third Drake after that fight. A very messy fight keeps them out of, allows them to take that fourth Drake. I believe no, that was a hawk shot from Ashe.
Yeah.
I saw a clip.
That wasn't an actual.
I
It
thought
was
that
just a
Ashe
hawk
just threw
shot.
out an ult, and I was like, that was very interesting. But it was just the hawk shot trying to see where that Veigar was.
Yeah. It looks like Baker is going for a Rabadon's.
Yeah, that's
He is at 175
175 stacks.
stacks.
He's about
Yeah.
a 100 gold away from that Rabadon's as well,
Yep.
which will inflate his AP heavily. The flash is blown from the Veigar, trying to get away from the Urgot. He doesn't want to play with that because the Urgot ult is up. Ori is answering the Ornn up and top side,
Interesting.
just kind of offsetting. It does give pressure to the Ori over the Urgot. The Urgot didn't seem to be doing too hot after the Jack Show was picked up.
The Ezreal ult was blown. Not quite sure where that was intended for, but
It looked like they were trying to sneak a Baron, but I don't think they had the damage for it between just the Wukong
no.
and the Ashe. I wonder if they were throwing down the Ezreal all trying to help before getting there, but
Throwing up gang signs.
yeah.
Yeah.
Only
So
two turrets
Baron
taken
is
down in the
up.
spot lane.
Yeah. They're not as like kill hungry as they were the first game. Ezreal did pick up Navori Quick Blades, and Caitlyn is working on her IE. The Seraph's Embrace was picked up for Oriana and the Rabadon for Veigar. It looks like the Orange working on his what is that item? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking.
So Veigar is currently sitting
Sunfire.
at 190 and 552 AP.
That's insane. This is why they banned Veigar every single game.
He's just a very dangerous champ to play into because you don't want him to scale, you don't want him to farm. And if he does that, he's gonna look at somebody and even with a QW might one-shot somebody.
Yep.
Some of these squishier champs like the Ashe, the Ezreal might get blown up. Even the Ori could potentially get blown up. She does have the kind of safety net of the new and improved Seraphs, but it's only a shield, small shield. If he blows through that shield, it's essentially gone in an instant. But that's the second turret for Conduit Hecklers picked up in the mid
Yeah.
lane. They're now opening more and more of the map. They have a 1.5k lead. with Urgot
It is
split
a
pushing
pretty
in the
close
bot
game,
side.
though. Oh
It looks
gosh.
like they might try baiting in the Vi flashes
Ooh,
forward, punches the Wukong clone into the cage, but Ezreal's able to take out that Veigar, which is a big source of power. Wukong's able to get onto that Caitlyn, pressure her out. Currently a 3 for 0. Wukong still chasing as well as the Ezreal. The Karma goes down, creating a 4 for 0, and it looks like Baron is on the table for Conduit Hecklers as Caitlyn gets chased off the map as a quick dive onto that Veigar on a counterplay does kind of seal the fate for TPO Goats in this matchup. It's
yeah,
now
this is
full
going to be a rough
control
one to come back.
in the favor of Conduit Hecklers, and with a 50 seconds on the Soul Drake for them, they're going to still have
Wait,
Baron up and going to be able to push.
this is my Chemtech Soul!
Yes.
It's like my favorite Drake in this game. I think every game should just have Chemtech Drakes. My life would be happy. I just want to like point out the vision difference in the bot lane. We have 107 vision score on Ash versus 56 on Karma,
Yeah, but that's
and a
inflated. They
lot
have
of
that Umbral Glaive. Big thing for this fight,
yeah.
Ornn did just upgrade the Luden's Echo on the Veigar, so Veigar's
Mm-hmm.
going to be doing more damage, going to have more poke.
Yeah, what is his AP is at 640 right now with 205
Oh,
stacks.
Vi just was
Oh
caught out of
no.
position. So was the Karma. The
Oh
long range ult from the Urgot takes him away. They're just going to be able to take this Soul Drake after punishing poor movement and poor positioning from the Vi and the Karma just getting blown up quick.
yeah. Um Voltsy needs to not be so in front of the rest of his team. He is like a squishy little Veigar, but oh no. Coconut gets caught out a little bit here.
They
And
just
that
needed to
turret is
give
just
and
gonna
just try
fall.
to shred the minions on the inhib turret.
They just need a turtle at this point. They have too many the hecklers have too many turrets up for them to be playing this aggressive.
Well, it's the Baron buff that's killing them. They're just
Yeah.
pressuring down both mid and bot lane turret with that Baron buff. And like anybody, essentially besides the Caitlyn, Karma, and Veigar, Ornn and Vi have to step out of turret to even attack the cannon minions, which are the big effect. Wukong's getting hit up and a lot of damage coming down on him quick. The baby cage does go out, but doesn't catch anyone yet. A little bit of poke from Veigar isn't too much for the Ashe to handle. Veigar hasn't scaled to the point where he's going to be hitting people. Um,
Um, I I think that the TPO goals just kind of need to like focus on getting the objective bounties and protecting their base. They do not like they need to clear all the vision from hecklers that are that's pretty much like all over their top side. They have the river warded, they have jungle warded. Um, so TPO Ghost is not going to get away with being able to sneak anything. They
no,
just have to play kind of carefully.
they have to play carefully. If they can catch somebody out, catch them out. I don't know who that really is because the only person I've seen kind of out of position has been this Wukong, and he has that W in the clone to get
Yeah.
away. The Ashe ult
Oh,
going down on the Caitlyn, she's getting caught out. Wukong's into their backline. Good flank by him. Is able to already kill the Caitlyn. The Karma's getting poked down and does go down. It's currently a 3v5 now. Ornald's coming out. Knocks up 2. The Veigar's trying to 1v1 the Wukong, but not being that successful at it. The Vi goes
oh
in, but
no.
is instantly blown up by the team. While Urgot's just sitting there tanking turret and tanking that inhib in mid. They now move to the Nexus. Do, do they rotate to bottom, or are they looking to just end the game? Another Ash all onto the Veigar, sentences
Okay.
him to death. It's now 1v4 for Ornn, but Caitlyn and Karma are up. Are they able to defend, or is it something that
Oh,
they're
kill
gonna
the
be able
Wukong!
to?
Kill the Wukong!
The
No,
Caitlyn all
yes, thank
comes out and
you.
curves around the Urgot, getting that kill onto him for the Caitlyn.
Oh
The
no.
Urgot re-engages, trying to apply pressure. Karma's forced to blow her not flash.
Her Ash.
Yeah, too many words.
Jim needs a dubby. Jim needs a dubby.
Ornn's looking to upgrade. The Ornn upgrade did go on to Caitlyn's Gale Force, so that's 2 up right now. There's going to be super minions in 2 lanes, with Baron coming up in 50 seconds. It's something that they might have to fight for, because I don't know if they can handle another Baron onslaught.
No, they can't.
Hecklers took so much off of that Baron. They took a fight at Drake, took Soul Drake, and then took 4 turrets and 2 inhibs.
Yeah, if they don't fight for this Baron, it's gonna be like a Baron and situation.
And that top turret for the goats is literally one tap.
Yeah,
Urgot could
it's
probably
barely
just
hanging
like
on.
E underneath and just hit it, and it'll go down. It'll probably go down
Yep.
on this next wave.
He's going down for it.
So
It
there's a
doesn't
ton of
look like
pressure.
either team is going for Baron. They're just gonna fight, and whoever's the winner either takes the Drake or
Urgot
takes
did
the
just
Baron.
tick
And
over to level 18. Ori's got the full upgrade on her ult at level 16. So that's something to keep in mind. If she lands a big ult, somebody's getting exploded with that much items already built. She's
yeah,
skilled well enough. The Veigar cages are just barely missing these champs to try to blow anyone up. The Wukong's being a menace on the side lane for them and try to pressure in more waves. But the main group of TPO goats just is forced to push back to those Nexus turrets as waves are piling in now. On both mid
yeah.
and bot and top lane, there's a wave knocking on that inhib by itself.
Caitlyn did not go Infinity Edge. She opted for Collector instead.
Just
Ezreal did
collector,
pick up the Kraken Slayer.
and she's working on a rapid fire cannon. Looks like Hecklers are just looking to camp into that bush, do a Fnatic death brush, but they back off, decide that's not the one that they want. They want a different one. They want him to walk around the corner. They see the vision.
They're gonna go for the Elder.
Wukong goes in.
Oh
The ult
no.
goes down. Urgot's able to instantly pull in that Veigar. He is
Oh
down.
no.
Caitlyn is down. The whole team is wiped in a quick ace. Looks like it's going to be seal the deal and end the game as the full team of Hecklers just marches in to take that base. It's going to be a GG, and it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Conduit Hecklers.
It was a very well played by both teams. Honestly, they just couldn't contest against that Urgot and it's like the Urgot and the Ori, and the Wukong was just everywhere. So that is going to be it for us here at TPO. We appreciate Agos letting us stream this for them. It was a good game to everyone.
And thank you everyone for tuning in, and you all have
Yes.
a good night.
Have a good night.
Yeah.